Hello, everybody. This is Renault, and today we are going to do a review of The 12, number 2 out of a 5-issue limited series. Now I'm back to my old setup, so I'm just going to do some quick hails. Hello, Joker. Hello, ibuprofen and mouse that I bought, but this is a spare. And I just haven't had a chance to put it away. Let's do that now. When I say put it away, I mean put it at a desk. And hello, plastic plant. Oh, how you brighten up my life and add color to this location. And back to the book. Hello, The 12. Innocence lost. Now this is a great cover in multiple ways. Let's just start from the top to the bottom. The orange beaming off of this sun. This is very relevant to the story. The story is represented by overwhelming heat, and you've got this exaggerated large sun just bearing down on the son. His name is Caleb. Or is it Eli? No, Caleb. So the son, whose name is Caleb, he confronts some truths in this story, and you can see how this is reflective of that as he's thinking about the things that he's faced and the things he's learned in this story. And again, there's this tree. Even this tree helping to, it's looking to help kind of frame and divide this page so you can focus on him even more. This is a well-designed cover. Patrick Trahey did a great job with this cover. Or whoever drew it, or if it's commissioned, whoever he commissioned did a great job. Because it kind of cuts off this part, even if it's like only a fifth of the page. And this covers off, a third? It helps us really focus on him. Because this story is about him learning things. Even if he's not necessarily our protagonist. It's about him. And the sun, and what he learns, and how he contemplates what he's learned. Anyway, let's get to the book. 3 minutes in. I don't normally spend 2.5 minutes on a cover. But if a well-done cover deserves to be pointed out. And I think that's important. So, previously, these groups, Eli the father, the father's brother, not the father's brother-in-law, and the son, decided to go on the dead roads because the farmhouse got raided. So there is no way to survive at this point. They needed to get on the roads, find new food, find new resources, because they got raided and their house got burned down, and they had to move into like a the rest of the family, the mother, the 3 daughters, and their neighbor moved together in like a fallout shelter. But there's no coming back. If they don't come back with resources, everyone's dead. So that's how desperate the situation is. And so now we see the roads. It gives us a little more clue into the dystopia they are living in. See a abandoned car with a dead person, turned over car or truck. Actually, this is like an oil freighter. And who do you suppose put this here? I did. About 15 years ago. 300 miles to Chicago. Chicago, is that the name of the city? It used to be. Seems that's changed, though. So that's the son talking to the father. Now, the creator and writer is Patrick Trahey. Pencils, inks, and tones. I have no idea what tones are, but those are done by Luis Suarez. The letterer for just the balloons is done by someone named Magnus. And Peter Simeti did the colors and also was the letterer for text. Again, I have no idea what tones are. Could that be the flatter, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so they're on the road. So that gives you that's a good way to indicate where they are, because it's at Chicago. So you see this falling bridge from a freeway, just empty desolation. You can see this is important for the story, actually. It shows him getting drunk. And so there's just more desolation and damage. Walking. And this is important, too. And earlier I talked about how the overbearing sun just bearing down on them. This is actually a good visual storytelling to show that one, it's empty, and two, it's hot. Because you just see that sun, because it's like white hot glare on them. Anyway, though I do have a little bit of a nitpick, and this is a nitpick in the grand scheme of things. This is why we don't share food with strangers. It's just so empty. Getting drunk. This is important for later. That's why they're called the dead roads, kiddo. These two word balloons should be switched. Imagine if the sun is just saying, it's just so empty. Because that's what somebody would just blurt out. Not, this is why we don't share food with strangers. This is something that somebody would just blurt out idly. Not this. So then, imagine if he said, it's just so empty. This is why we don't share food with strangers. And that's why they're called the dead roads, kiddo. Again, this is just a little bit of awkward. These two word balloons could literally be switched around. And it would just flow a little bit better. A little bit. Let me see. Did I need to skip here? Yeah. I'm going to skip just to satisfy the copyright gods. This is good visual storytelling, etc., etc. Got my bookmarks back, found them. And so then anyway, they spend the night camping, and in the morning, they're back on the roads again. So hold your horses, give me a minute. So then they kind of leave him behind, because again, that shows how Eli kind of doesn't respect him. And so the son, they see a pickup truck on the side of the road. So, oh no, this guy's dead. Well, hold on, son. Let's not waste anything. So he starts siphoning out the gas. And I just want to go over all of this, because this is really important. And then the son, he's looking off in the distance, and he sees something. And so the guy catches up with them at last. They're getting their guns ready. This could be anything, but... So I'm sorry. The father's name is Caleb. The son's name is Eli. But anyway, look at them. They are clearly zombies or zombie-ish. Look at them. They're eating a dead horse. You can't see it on my phone, but there's maggots coming out of the mouth, out of the eyes. You can see a little bit on the eyes, but not in the mouth, because my phone is terrible. But again, they're eating this dead horse. And this is just to show how dead the world is. We need food. Anything. A bite. Anything. And you can see that there's something going on with his hands. They're dead. They're like zombies. So they went to the city to work or do something, but they got turned away. Please, a scrap, a crumb, anything. And so Caleb tells Eli, again, Caleb is the father, Eli is the son. We can't spare it, anything. We can't spare anything. And the son is like, but no, they're already dead. So again, that emphasizes that they're either zombies or they're going to suffer a fate worse than death anyways. But this is how some good storytelling here. I am truly sorry. The only thing I can offer you is to end your suffering quickly, or you can be on your way. Hardcore. But my baby. Spare a bit for my baby. And so then the guy who nobody respects. Christ, woman, you've gone mad. A few crumbs won't help you. A bullet's what you need. We ask for food and you offer us death? May God's 12, the righteous spirits of the old folk, beset upon you and strike you down. And he spits at them, like the insult. And they're just pulling this cart. Go on then, we've got nothing else to offer you. Now, I also want to point out, I don't know if you can see that on my phone, but he's pulling this crate, and it's not just her, but there's the dead bodies of her 2 children as well. And so she's carrying her dead baby, and the cart are her 2 dead children, and then the man is just carrying them on. Again, this was excellent because it gives us that there's a zombie-like infection going on. These people are dead, even if they're almost like living dead, but they're clearly sentient. But they're dead. Whatever nuclear radiation, a virus, a bacteria, I don't know. But they are suffering from it. And that's what this interaction was to highlight. And it shows how it affects them. And so it's one of those, a fate worse than death. So let's skip a couple of pages. Hey, Classic Con, thank you so much for advertising in Alterna. Skip a couple of pages. So anyway, the useless guy and Caleb get into an argument and a fight, as you can clearly see. But he talks shit about how this lets us know that Caleb used to be a slaver. And that's what this is all about. He's getting drunk and he's mouthing off how Caleb used to be a slaver. The mother, Eli's mother, and him were kind of like a package deal. It was the useless guy and the woman who was pregnant at the time. So if Caleb wanted to save her, she had to take him. And that's kind of why there's a bit of resentment. Now, he's drunk and he's mouthing off because we saw him getting drunk earlier. That's why I wanted to point out that him drinking was important. Because now he's drunk and he's mouthing off. And Caleb beats the living shit out of him. I saved you, you piece of shit. I built a home and fed you. She never loved you, did she? So again, the mother was pregnant at the time. And so he's trying to make it out that she just did what she had to do with him, with Caleb, to survive. And he's mouthing off and he's drunk. Another nitpick, whenever you show a punch, you should show the punch as a follow-through. So this fist should be the same as this fist. And to differentiate that these are 2 different strikes, this one should have like an onomatopoeia, like a whack. And then this one should have, like, knockout. So that we know that this punch is different from this punch. So again, this is nitpicking. Because these are 2 separate punches. But he's just mouthing off. That's not how it was. Anything's being better than raped and beaten every day. That's not how it was. I looked after her. I loved her. And she loved me. She never loved you. Yeah. He deserved it. Boom. And I want to go over a little bit more because, again, this is important. We got 2 more people sneaking up. Boom. Ambushed. So these are 2 people from the earlier when they burned the house down. So basically like, yeah, our grandfather told us you would be trying to follow us, trying to get revenge. That's not quite what's happening. They're out to get supplies. They're not out to get revenge. But to them, it doesn't make any difference. They've got the guns on the Caleb and Eli. And that's it. So they're going to rob them of what little supplies they've got left. Hurry it up now. All of it. And this is the son. He's just like Eli. Except he's got the power. Eli doesn't. There's hardly any difference between them. And he's looking at it and taking it all in. How similar they are, but also how different they are. And that's what this one wordless panel highlights. Very well done visual storytelling. Don't forget that moonshine. So, oh look. Ambush. God. Hurry it up. Boom. He throws the moonshine. Serves as a distraction. Boom, boom, boom. The son is dead. The father of the bandits, the bandit's son is dead. the father of the bandit, he's injured. My boy! My boy! Quiet! Well, do it! He's ready to die now. Listen. And so they talk and talk. He wants to know about the 12. Well, no, correction. He wants to know how they knew about the house. Because the house was way, way off the road. Like, imagine if you're walking on the road and you look to your left and you look to the right and there's nothing, you won't see anything. Because there wasn't really a road to their house. It was literally in the middle of nowhere. So he wants to know how they found out about it. And I want to skip this part because it's a lot of talking. And so he's like, someone pointed us to you. And so eventually he's going to kill them. He's going to kill him. But before he does, please, just go to my grandfather and tell my grandpappy that I love him and I miss him. And so Caleb promises that he'll do that. But then he shoots him anyway. I'm going to skip a couple of pages. Yeah, I just want to highlight this, yeah. Again, this is all happening right in front of the sun. Boom, he's dead. Dead. After promising to send a message. Again, this is one of those things that affects the sun greatly. So they move on to the next day, and the sun gives them a little bit of gut crap. Like, you promised what you say and what you do are going to be two different things. So anyway, as they get closer and closer to the city that was once called Chicago, they notice that as you get closer to the city, there's more and more greenery, there's more and more trees, but there's also just massive, massive graveyards. And this is all, again, Eli, the son, he's taking it all in. He's taking it all in. The story is about Eli and how the story is affecting him, like I mentioned earlier. They're just walking by. Look, there's dogs, ravaged dog, eating a dead corpse. And then skulls. It's a massive grave. This is a remnant of what happened earlier. I'm not sure if it was a genocide or a virus, but mass graves. This is a great job of visual storytelling and also verbal storytelling, just letting us know what's going on. Again, he's refusing food because he's affected, because the story is about him, even though he's not technically our protagonist. So he's telling you about what it's like to visit the city that is once called Chicago. It's going to be big and it's going to be beautiful. And you're going to see towers that rise above the sky. And there it is. Of course, it has a different treatment now. Promised Land, 30 miles. And in 60 days, a nightmare comes true. So, yeah. Again, this is excellent. Seriously, I just finished reading the series Unit 44, and it was disappointing how inconsistent the characterization and the world building was. It was really frustrating to read. This, 2 issues in, everything is consistent. The characterization is consistent. The world is being built. The characters are being built. Even the characters we left behind. And it never stops emphasizing that this is a dog-eat-dog, hardcore world. Again, that book was a T for teen rating. This is an M for mature rating. But that's okay. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.